Europa League semi-final second leg. Man United 4, Athletic Bilbao 1. So many performances that have now gone into hiding. So many performances that will not be pointed out later on, which I will point out. Now, okay, we were 1-0 down and that was stressful. Most of this game was extremely stressful. It was putting stress on you to the point where you were thinking, if they score one more, they're scoring the third. If they score the third, think that's game over. But you know what? We still stuck in. You know why? It's not because of the manager. And it's despite certain players that we have. Casemiro, Mazraoui, Euro as young as he is, Maguire throughout spells. These guys held the team together along with Bruno Fernandes as well. These guys held the team together and prevented us from collapsing to 2-0 down, 3-0 down, because that could have happened at any point. We can't say defending was world class today. Our defensive setup wasn't good enough. You play Ugarte, you play Garnacho, Højlund. There's only one or two things that could ever happen. This is why, guys, every week since for the past 2-3 months, I've been blaming Amorim. There's a reason. Because now look, what happened after the 60th minute? Mason Mount came on, AMAD Diallo came on, Luke Shaw came on. Suddenly, we changed play style. Now, may I remind you, we were not 1-1 when these guys came on. We were still losing 0-1. But did you see how the momentum just swung? How all of a sudden Bilbao were just like, oh, now it's game over. The second Mason Mount scored that first goal, that was it. From there was no looking back. Mason Mount, his impact today, I'm telling you, it should ideally earn him a place in the Europa League final, starting 11. Call it what you like, but Mason Mount is doing a lot more than Garnacho, a lot more than Højlund has done. So he should ideally be taking up one of those two spots. AMAD Zamad, like I don't need to say anything. AMAD is literally the second best right winger in the world after Lamine Yamal. So you know what? You don't even need to say anything about it. Luke Shaw, we all know. It's not a quality problem with Luke Shaw. It's an injury problem. And the fact that he's still been fit enough to even come off the bench is a big surprise. To me, to you, to everybody. When he plays at left wing back, surprisingly, even though he's good as an LCB, when he plays at left wing back, when he's putting in crosses, I think he's our best crosser at the club. Like, there's no one player that is better at crossing than Shaw is. So we got to use the asset when we can while he's not injured and do not overplay him. But when you play these players, you suddenly see, you know what? We go gung-ho. Now you might say maybe that's the system. Maybe that's because Amorim is getting the players that he wants. If that is the case, why are we playing hoofball the rest of the game? Don't tell me it's because of the quality of players, because these are still professional footballers. And the same professional footballers which in another game would sometimes just turn it on when we need it. The same Garnacho, the same Ugarte were playing when we were 2-0 up against Lyon in the first half. In that first half, when we did play well, there still was Garnacho, there still was Ugarte, there still was Dorgu, and we still played good. So you cannot tell me exactly that it's a player's fault. It's rather a coaching setup problem. Where till the point where AMAD Diallo comes in, till the point where Mason Mount comes in, there's no impact, there's no differences, because no player is allowed to actually do individual brilliance, as you say. Because when you're off the bench, you're given free rein to do whatever, because you are brought in to make a change to what's happening currently in the system. So when you can cause chaos, you know what? Individual brilliance shows up and then suddenly 4-1 happens. Mason Mount, you know what? Take the 2 goals away. His pressing was pretty good, and to the point, he has performed already better than what I've seen from Højlund for the past 16, 17 games. Same thing with Garnacho. Garnacho might pop up with a few goals, but today Mason Mount's performance, his impact off the bench was much better than anything I've seen from Garnacho. You know why? The ball keeps sticking. Even with Mason Mount, who is... I'm not a biggest fan. Even with Mason Mount, who I'm not a fan of. The way we kept the ball ticking when Mason Mount, when AMAD came in, That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of football you want to see. You want to just see quick transition football, and we try to get the ball into the box. And you know what? Just take a shot immediately. But where is that threat when we have Garnacho, Hoyland? And this was going to be my main talking point till we scored 4 goals. Today, after looking at this for at least a month, I have 100% confirmed to myself that Dogu is just the left-footed Dallo. This guy is nothing special. He tumbles over the ball when you need to do something. He rushes the ball too much. He is poor at decision making. People talk about link-up play. I don't see that link-up play with Dogu because this guy literally plays like Diogo Dallo, but with a left foot. Funnily, I was one of the first ones to actually call out Dallo, thinking, you know what, Dallo has no use. I don't see how Dallo can be an asset to our team. I'm saying the same thing with Dogu. You might say he's only 20, but I've seen enough to say, you know what, he's a squad player at best. At best. He's never starting for us. He's not good enough to start for us because he doesn't have fundamentals, because he cracks under pressure. If you crack under pressure at this age, then that's the mentality that you're setting in for all the later years. So I don't want a left back who second guesses himself with everything. You can call it a confidence issue. But there are players who can do the same role without this confidence issue, without any problems. So I would rather trust them. I would rather trust an Ait Nouri who has done it for Wolves, but in the Premier League. But who I know can handle the intensity of the Premier League. Dorgo, on the other hand, this wasn't even the Premier League. This was Athletic Bilbao. And they didn't have Inaki Williams. They didn't have Nico Williams. They didn't have Sanchez. And they still were physically dominant. They were threatening us with every chance that they got. Till we scored our first goal. That was all the way in the 70th minute. They were causing us trouble. And they probably deserved to win at that point. But you know what? A blitz of goals comes in. We score 4. We beat Bilbao. Sensational. 7-1 on aggregate. You know what? You just take it. You leave it. Now we face Tottenham in the Europa League final. This is going to be a game for seasons. What happens on 21st or 22nd May is going to determine, like I've said many times before, is going to determine what happens this season, next season, the season after that, probably for the next 5 or 10 years. It all depends on what happens on 22nd May. That's how important this game is. And don't forget, we do not want to be the team to break Tottenham's trophy curse, because they have not won a trophy for 16 or 17 years. We don't want to be the team to just give them the trophy. And we need that trophy anyways ourselves, because you know what? Added incentive, which it isn't important, but still, you know what? You get to play in the UEFA Super Cup. What is the importance of that? You get to play Champions League winner, and that, you know, it has some pedigree. For us, it's still another trophy you could win. So, Man United 4, Athletic Bilbao 1. You know what? We're through to the Europa League final, and that's all that matters. Premier League games are just going to be rest games, where we just try and test players who are coming back from injury, coming back to fitness. That's what the Premier League is for. Main focus is on 22nd May. See you all in the next one.